Hello guys, in this video I'm going to show how to hack an operating system by using Kali Linux with the help of Nmap, Nessus and Metasploit. So I am preferring you to have a virtual box containing Windows 2 operating system in the same network. It's easy to practice the way how we are hacking an operating system by the Kali Linux. So first you have need to set their both network adapters. Here the Windows network adapter is in an internal network, but you can use the bridge adapter and the host only adapter according to their requirements. But the both network adapters, that means here the Kali Linux is your machine and the Windows 2000 is a target machine. So these two needs to be in the same network adapter to easy to hack the system by searching their vulnerabilities. So make sure whether they are both are in two network in same network adapters. So just log into both Kali and Windows and try to get their IP address, and by to check their connectivity just use a ping command to check whether they can communicate each other. In Kali, to get their IP address we need to use ifconfig, and its IP address is 192.168.56.10. and for the Windows you can run here in the command prompt, and for Windows you have need to type ipconfig to see the IP address of your machine. Here the 56.99, that's a class C address. So we have got the two IP address of the machines. The target PC is Windows 2007. Then we need to ensure both can be able to communicate by checking a ping command by typing the receiver's IP address. Here receiver's IP address is Kali, so that is 56.10, and here we can have they can communicate because here no loss gain by the communication, same as we can check that in the Kali 2. This is the Windows IP address. We are trying to communicate the Windows. Here also we can communicate with the zero packet loss. So then the next thing the real thing is we don't know what is our target PC to hack, but in this case we are just practicing and we are demonstrating how to hack the system. So in the real case we don't know what is our target PC. So first thing we need to have a port scan with our machines, which computers are directly connected to our system. So the keyword to search that thing is in Nmap. So before going to Nmap you need to make sure the Nmap is available in your Kali Linux. So here it's already available. For an example, Nmap dash help. So also say the things and what are the attributes we can use here in these machines as well. For the port scan we need to use the Nmap, as I told that already. So the command is Nmap, and its attribute is search the ports of our same machine. So we need to give our IP address 192.168.56.10 with our subnet marks to say whether this is which class, and it may take some time and it will display what are the devices which are directly connected to our system. Is the thing the Nmap scan report is this host is directly connected to our system, but actual thing is in the real hacking we don't know what is this IP address referring to what operating system and what kind of device. So then we need to collect the information based on this IP address by using this Nmap. So here in Nmap there is a command, that means first thing we need to find a way to go inside the system. So we need to collect the informations of the open ports of the target PC. Here we got the target PC IP address, and then we need to check what is open, what are the ports are open to move inside to the target PC. So in communications, we are using two types of ports, TCP and UDP. So first command is nmap s, capital S is for to scan the TCP ports of the target system. So we are need to give the target PC IP address, which is subnet mask, and this will scan the port of the target PC, and it will display what are the open TCP ports here. Same thing, we can scan the UDP port by changing the U. So it will display the open UDP ports of the target PC system. Here you can see these UDP ports are open for the target PC system, but all the things will not work properly because some encryption problems are there. And we need to collect the information about the devices. We need to find what operating system is running on the target PC. So by changing the attribute O, we can get the information about the target PC. So here it will again check for the open ports, and it will display some messages which can be useful for us in the collecting of the resources. To see what operating system is running is nmap minus capital O and the target PC IP address. Here it will have a overall scan on the target PC, and it will display the details what we are need to have to hack the system. So here we will get a report like this, and we can able to see the operating system details is this target PC is running in the Microsoft Windows. So I guess these things are enough for us to exploit the vulnerability of the target PC. After we gather the all requirements, we can just start our service in the Nessus. So starting the service of the Nessus, service Nessus start, and here it will start, and we can use the Nessus IP address, which is 127.0.0.0.1. This is a default server address, but this must be in HTTPS, that means a secure protocol. The address is 127.0.0.1 and its port is 8834. These are the predefined one, and here we can see the Nessus is initializing, and it will be asked for a login username and password. Here for my Nessus, root and root are my password, so it may change based on your requirement. So here, as I mentioned, my username is root and the password is root, and I am just signing into the system. And here I have already scanned the victim PC, and I have the report here, completed report. It may take some time to scan the vulnerability. To make scan, here you can see the scan template, and go to scan template and give a new scan. Give what name you have need to wants to give. Here I am giving Windows 2000 as I already gave that, and the set scan target is must be your target PC. My target PC is Windows 2000. So the Windows 2000 IP address we are need to give in the scan target, and we have need to run the scan, and it may take some time, and the result will be appear here in the result bar. Here I have already scanned the system, and I am having the result with me. So I just opening. Here you can see the vulnerability scans with the things, and these are the vulnerabilities. The Nessus categorize them by their critical things. That means if it's a high, and it can be a medium vulnerability, and it's categorized the total vulnerability into 4 or 5 categories. The critical vulnerability is make easy as to break the system or to hack the system. So these things you can see, these are the vulnerabilities identified by the Nessus scan to the Windows 2000. So here we have need to choose a vulnerability in a critical stage to exploit the Windows 2000. So here I am choosing the vulnerability is MS03026 Microsoft RPC interface buffer overrun. That means he is based on the interface. That means we can get the graphical access by hacking this one. For some vulnerabilities we can have the access for the command prompt only without the interface, or some vulnerabilities redirecting us for the C drive, that means a Windows drive. So based on the vulnerabilities they may differ, but we can do what our intentional attack on that. So by clicking this vulnerability you can see the things which are inside is about the vulnerability. Here you can see the common vulnerabilities rates and common vulnerability ID, common vulnerability exposure. That means this ID we can get the details from the common vulnerability exploit databases, which is already publicly available in the internet. This common vulnerability database giving all the facts, all the details about the newly discovered vulnerability. That means 0-day attack is something beside that one. 0-day means it's not been identified or exploit. That means not been identified or proved it as a vulnerability. That's the attack only knows that. So these things are about the critical vulnerability which I've chosen to attack the Windows 2000. So here you can see the details of its ID in the vulnerability. That means common vulnerability exposures. These kinds you can use to exploit, you can to gather the information in the common vulnerability explorer. So then okay, it's enough I guess. Then we have need to exploit this one by typing this ms number, which is useful to attack the system. The ms number, when you are choosing the ms number, it's easy to have a break in the target PC. If you use some other vulnerability exposures which is not an ms number, I can see, but here all are the ms, all are having the ms id. But for some, yeah, here the ASN one multiple integer, it can't be sometimes exploited because it's don't have any id with this. So if it's having id, then it's easy for us to have an attack. So first thing we need to implement is we have need to start the Apache server to run the exploit database to gather the vulnerability detail of our critical vulnerability, which we chosen is MS03026. So first we have need to just type search exploit wins, and then it's okay. Then we can start our service of Apache. Okay, it successfully started. Then we have need to start the PostgreSQL. It will take some times to start the PostgreSQL, and you have need to wait for some minutes. And the thing is, we need to exploit that in a terminal. That means the terminal is also having a separate terminal called as MSF console for our attacks. That means it's can be also a terminal with a MSF tag. That means it's separately for running in an like another platform. That means it can be a kind of another application in the terminal to exploit our database. to exploit the target PC. So it may take some time to load its things to display the MSF console. Here you can see the MSF tag and the O close tag, and it's ready for us to type. So here now we are in the exploit database, and we need to search what is the vulnerability we have find to exploit. Here I found MS03026, I guess. Yeah, it will search the database, and it's give the path exploit Windows Discipline MS03, and this is the path which is used to exploit that Windows 2000. So just click it and copy it, and you can directly use that path to exploit, and it will give another prompt, another console to exploit this one. So here you can gather the information about the target PC by you are inside the PC. It's nearly you are already inside the Windows 2000 in Kali. So here info command will give some details, overall details about your target PC, and to exploit you can use these two kind of exploitation. One is rhost and rport. Here rhost is the preferable one to exploit the 2000 by Kali. So you can just set rhost, that means remotely you are hosting the target PC is 56.99, and it will prompt another console by waiting to exploit. That means you are now remotely connected to this host, and you need to exploit this. Now after your exploitation, for the exploitation it may take some time, and it will display a meta printer. That means here you are already in Windows 2007. Here from this panel you can access any files or details from the Windows 2007. Here we need to act. I am going to show the graphical thing by running the VNC. This is a video graphical based thing to display, to get the screen of the Windows 2000 as our target machine. Run VNC will display the screen what is now presently having in 2000, that is our in target PC. But in the meta printer you can already, that means meta printer means you are already now into Windows 2000 as your target PC, your victim PC, and you can gain all the informations by typing the commands. When you can try to move to locally C, and you can gain the user information, and you can change the user password as something. So I am here just run the VNC, and it will load some time because it's need to gather the graphical of the Windows 2000, and it will display in a new application which you can see what is actually the Windows having in its real time. Here you can see the Windows is already also having this thing in the screen, and in the Kali also we can able to have this one. For this we can do some changes and see whether they can be applicable to the real Windows. So right click here and create a new file. It's a text file, and it's okay. New text document. You have hacked, and I am saving this one, and I close this and move to the real Windows operating system, and you can see the file there too. So by exploiting the Windows 2000 by the vulnerability which I have chosen is redirecting to this way of attack, but all the critical vulnerabilities are preferable to attack, but most of them are having the same functionality, but the way of accessing may differ. So if you have enough time, you can self-reference with all the critical vulnerabilities of Windows 2000 and you can exploit it. As I told already, some vulnerabilities can provide the graphical interface such this kind, or else it will display a command prompt of the target PC, and that command prompt you can gain all the access. That means you can create a file, you can delete a file, you can hang the system, you can inject some virus or some trojans codes inside this one. Everything you can done by exploiting the vulnerability. The thing is, you need to follow the procedures. Again, I am repeating the things. First, in the Kali, you have need to run the nmap to gather the information. Then you have need to use the Nessus. By to Nessus, we have need to have the Apache server and the PostgreSQL, which contain the database of the vulnerabilities. The Nessus is like a server which running in our default server address with a different port, that is 8834 port. But this is an HTTPS, that means is a secure transaction protocol. When you are trying to access this first time, it will ask to accept the risk. The accept the risk means this is having a digital certificate which is not from a well-known certified authority, but it's a local certified authority and it's signed by them itself. So it may ask you to have the you to accept the risk, and it's okay because you are using the system, so it's no need to be worried about that, and you can need to accept this one, and then only you will get the interface. And for the scan templates, you have need to give the scan target as your target PC, and your results will be appear here, and you have need to select the suitable things. If it's okay, you can try to the new systems such as Windows 2007, Windows 8, Windows 10. And if you are having the initial installations, that you can see the vulnerabilities, but the actual thing is you can't able to exploit the updated operating systems because the updateds are having the patches for the already identified vulnerability. So just for your practice, make sure that you are installed the operating system in a virtual machines, because if sometimes this Windows 2000 can't be functioned for the next time by replacing our files by attacking. For an example, it can cause damage for the graphical drivers, and the graphics can't be appear for the real PC. So if it's in a virtual machine, that's very secure to run these attacks, as well as to check the virus also, the categories of virus and what the virus will doing. You can use the virtual machines to check the what virus and what's their virus function is more secure in the virtual machines. So Oracle virtual machines, it's freely downloadable by the Oracle website. So I guess this video is very helpful for you to learn how to hack the Kali Linux, sorry, how to hack the operating system by using the Kali Linux. If you have any doubts, you can ask me by commenting below to my YouTube video. Thank you.